One of the most versatile and endearing actresses of the past half-century has died. Diane Keaton.
On October 11, 2025, Hollywood lost one of its brightest stars. Diane Keaton passed away at age 79. The Oscar-winning actress who defined an era? Gone. Within days, tributes poured in from across the world, but one voice stood out among them all. A voice filled with raw emotion. A voice that reminded us of the profound connections forged in fleeting moments of filmmaking. Keanu Reeves, her co-star from Something's Gotta Give. When asked about Diane at a film premiere, his composure faltered, his voice broke, and for a moment, the world witnessed something rare. Keanu Reeves, Hollywood's most private soul, breaking down as he remembered the woman who had touched his life in ways words could barely capture.
I had the chance to work with her once and really cherish that experience, getting the chance to work with her.
This is the story of their connection. This is the story of Hollywood's quiet farewell. This is Keanu's final goodbye. October 11th, 2025, a Saturday morning in Los Angeles. The sun rose over a city that would soon learn it had lost one of its most beloved icons. 8:08 a.m. The Los Angeles Fire Department received a call, person down. The dispatcher provided an address in Brentwood, an address many in Hollywood knew well, Diane Keaton's home. Paramedics arrived within minutes. They found the legendary actress unresponsive. She was transported immediately to St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica. But by the time the ambulance arrived, she was gone. Diane Keaton, the woman who made us laugh in Annie Hall, who broke our hearts in The Godfather, who showed us that romance has no age limit in Something's Gotta Give. Gone.
The end of the career and the end of the life is when you're dead. I mean, there's no end. There's no end. It's too exciting. Life is too profoundly amazing to think that it's over. It's not over until it's over.
The cause of death would later be confirmed: bacterial pneumonia. Her death certificate revealed she had been battling the illness in the days prior. No autopsy was performed. The pneumonia had taken her swiftly, quietly, just as she had lived her life on her own terms. Hollywood didn't know yet, the world didn't know yet. But in the hours that followed, as word began to spread through text messages and phone calls, an entire industry began to grieve.
Diane Keaton is one of those actors that whenever she's in a film, you know that it's going to be good because of her presence in it.
Jane Fonda, who starred alongside Diane in Book Club, posted on Instagram, "It's hard to believe she was always a spark of life and light, constantly giggling at her own foibles, being limitlessly creative." Reese Witherspoon called her just a truly original person. Steve Martin, who had known her for decades, simply wrote, "Heartbroken." But perhaps the most poignant response came from someone quieter, someone who rarely speaks about his emotions in public. Keanu Reeves was at a film premiere when he heard the news. According to those present, he went silent, completely silent. For several long moments, he couldn't speak at all. To understand why Keanu's grief ran so deep, you have to go back to 2003, to a romantic comedy that would become one of the most beloved films of the decade, to Something's Gotta Give. Writer-director Nancy Meyers had crafted a story about second chances, about romance defying age expectations, about two people finding each other when they least expected it. Diane Keaton played Erica Berry, a successful playwright. Jack Nicholson played Harry Sanborn, a wealthy music executive. And Keanu Reeves played Julian Mercer, a young doctor who falls deeply, genuinely in love with Erica. Keanu was 36 years old when filming began. Diane was 57. The age difference was part of the story, part of the magic. But what happened on that set went beyond the script. Diane and Keanu developed a connection that transcended their on-screen romance. She called him generous, kind, professional. He called her extraordinary, unique, irreplaceable. When they filmed their scenes together, the intimate conversations, the stolen glances, the moments of genuine tenderness, something real was happening beneath the performance. Years later, Diane would tell Oprah Winfrey, "I'm going to marry him. He likes an older woman." She was joking, of course. But the affection was real. The admiration was real, and Keanu felt it too. In interviews, he spoke about watching Diane work with Jack Nicholson, witnessing the history they shared, the decades of friendship and mutual respect. It was cool to be able to see her and Jack together, he would later say, just with the history they shared. The fondness and love they had for each other, it was really cool. The film earned Diane her 4th Oscar nomination. It became a classic, and it created a bond between her and Keanu that would last more than 2 decades. In 2020, Diane and Keanu reunited as presenters at the Academy Awards. The chemistry was still there. 17 years after Something's Gotta Give, they walked onto that stage together. The audience erupted because everyone remembered. Everyone felt it. Diane was 74 by then. Keanu was 55. But when they stood together, time collapsed. They were Erica and Julian again, if only for a moment. That would be one of their last public appearances together. In the months leading up to October 11th, Diane Keaton's health had been declining, but she kept it private. That was her way. She had always been intensely private about her personal struggles. Longtime friend Carol Bayer-Sager told People magazine something shocking. When she saw Diane 2 or 3 weeks before her death, she was stunned. She was very thin, Sager said. She had lost so much weight. Diane had left Los Angeles earlier in the year. Wildfires had damaged her home. She went to Palm Springs for repairs. When she returned, those who knew her best noticed the change. She had always been slender, stylish, effortlessly elegant, but now she looked fragile. She declined very suddenly, a friend told People magazine. It was heartbreaking for everyone who loved her. But Diane didn't complain. She didn't seek sympathy. She continued working. Her final film, Summer Camp, had been released earlier in 2025. She had appeared at a few events. She had posted on Instagram, sharing her love of architecture, animals, the simple beauty of everyday moments. And then, on that Saturday morning in October, she was gone. The family released a statement on October 15th, 4 days after her death. The Keaton family are very grateful for the extraordinary messages of love and support they have received these past few days on behalf of their beloved Diane, who passed away from pneumonia on October 11th. They requested privacy. They requested that instead of flowers, donations be made to local food banks or animal shelters, causes Diane had supported throughout her life. She loved her animals, the family wrote, and she was steadfast in her support of the unhoused community. On October 14th, Diane Keaton was cremated. There would be no public funeral, no memorial service where Hollywood could gather, no red carpet for grief, just a quiet goodbye, the way she would have wanted it. But that didn't mean Hollywood wasn't saying goodbye in its own way. Monday, October 14th, 2025, 3 days after Diane's death. The New York City premiere of Good Fortune, Keanu Reeves' new action comedy. Keanu walked the red carpet. He smiled for cameras, he greeted fans. He did what actors do. He showed up, he performed, he fulfilled his obligations. But those who knew him could see the weight he was carrying. E! News approached him for an interview. The reporter asked about the film. Keanu answered professionally. Then the reporter asked about Diane. And Keanu broke. Not dramatically, not loudly. Keanu Reeves doesn't break that way. But if you watch the footage, if you look closely at his face, you can see the moment his composure shatters, his voice cracks.
Total pro. She was very nice to me. Generous artist, and a very special, unique person.
The words come slowly, carefully, as if he's trying to hold himself together through sheer will, but his eyes tell the truth. They're red. They're glistening. This man who rarely shows emotion in public, who guards his grief like a sacred thing. He's barely holding back tears. The Hollywood reporter asked him another question. His voice thickened. "I feel lucky," he said softly, "to have worked with someone so wonderful, so extraordinary. She was special. She's one of a kind. The loss is fresh, immediate, unbearable." He kept repeating himself. Special, unique, wonderful. As if he couldn't find words big enough to capture what Diane had meant to him. As if language itself had failed. Those who were there at the premiere later told friends something revealing. After the interviews, Keanu disappeared for several minutes. He needed time. He needed space. Because Keanu Reeves, the man who has endured unspeakable personal tragedy, who lost his girlfriend and their unborn child, who lost his best friend, River Phoenix, who has learned to carry grief with dignity, was breaking down, not for the cameras, not for the headlines, but because he had lost someone who mattered, someone who had been kind to him when kindness wasn't required, someone who had seen him not as Keanu Reeves' movie star, but as a fellow artist, a fellow soul trying to make something beautiful in this world. In the days following Diane's death, the tributes continued to pour in, but they weren't flashy, they weren't performative. They were quiet, dignified, deeply personal. Nancy Meyers, who had directed Diane in 4 films beginning with Baby Boom in 1987, posted a tribute on Instagram. It captured the essence of their 4-decade friendship. These past 48 hours have not been easy. Seeing all of your tributes to Diane has been a comfort. As a movie lover, I'm with you all. We have lost a giant. A brilliant actress who time and again laid herself bare to tell our stories. She continued. As a woman, I lost a friend of almost 40 years. At times over those years, she felt like a sister. We shared so many truly memorable experiences. As a filmmaker, I've lost a connection with an actress that one can only dream of. Nancy described Diane's process, her fearlessness. When I needed her to cry, in scene after scene in Something's Gotta Give, she went at it hard, then somehow made it funny. I remember she would sometimes spin in a kind of goofy circle before a take, to purposely get herself off balance. Whatever she needed to shed so she could be in the moment. She concluded, she was fearless, she was like nobody ever, she was born to be a movie star, her laugh could make your day. For me, knowing her and working with her changed my life. Thank you, Di. I'll miss you forever. Woody Allen, Diane's longtime collaborator and former romantic partner, published an essay in the Free Press. He wrote, "It's grammatically incorrect to say most unique, but all rules of grammar, and I guess anything else, are suspended when talking about Diane Keaton." He continued for several paragraphs, remembering the woman who had been his muse, his love, his friend for more than 50 years. The essay was vintage Allen, intellectual, self-deprecating, circling around emotion rather than diving directly into it. But the love was there, the grief was there. AMC Theaters announced something beautiful. They would re-release Annie Hall and Something's Gotta Give in 100 theaters across the United States. A cinematic memorial. A chance for audiences to see Diane one more time on the big screen, where she belonged. But perhaps the most moving tribute came from her children. Dexter, 29, Duke, 25, both adopted by Diane in her 50s, when everyone told her it was too late to become a mother. They released no public statements. They gave no interviews. They simply asked for privacy as they mourned their mother. In 2005, Diane had told Life magazine something profound. "The shocking thing is that I worry differently now. Before kids, if I worried, it was only about myself. But that's all you do is worry as a parent. It's rule number 1 in parenting. Secretly worry without letting the kids know you're worried." She had been a mother for less than 30 years. But in that time, she had given her children everything. And now they were left to grieve the woman who had chosen them, who had loved them, who had shown them that family is what you make it. There was no funeral, no gathering of Hollywood's elite in a grand cathedral, no cameras capturing the grief of the famous as they filed in wearing black. Diane Keaton was cremated quietly on October 14th at a facility in Los Angeles. Her ashes were given to her family. What they chose to do with them remains private, as it should be. But make no mistake, Hollywood said goodbye. In Instagram posts and magazine tributes, in re-released films and standing ovations at screenings, in the tears of Keanu Reeves at a film premiere, in the silence of those who loved her. The final curtain had fallen on a life extraordinary, a life that spanned 6 decades of American cinema, a life that redefined what it meant to be a woman in Hollywood, to be quirky and confident, vulnerable and strong, fashionable and authentic all at once. Diane Keaton never married. She never fit into Hollywood's conventional molds. She wore men's suits and fedoras when women were supposed to wear gowns. She adopted children in her 50s when everyone said it was too late. She chose roles that scared her, that challenged her, that revealed uncomfortable truths about aging and desire and self-doubt. And she did it all with grace, with humor, with that unmistakable Diane Keaton laugh that could light up any room. Keanu Reeves said it best. Even as his voice broke, she was very nice to me, generous artist, a very special, unique person. Diane Keaton died on October 11, 2025. She was 79 years old. She left behind 2 children who adored her, countless friends who cherished her, and millions of fans who will forever remember the woman who taught us something important, that it's okay to be different, to be authentic, to be unapologetically yourself. Hollywood has lost a giant, but her films remain, her laughter echoes, and those who loved her, like Keanu Reeves, breaking down at a premiere, struggling to find words big enough to capture her spirit, will carry her memory forward. This was not the goodbye anyone wanted, but it was the goodbye she deserved. Quiet, dignified, filled with love. Rest in peace, Diane. You were truly one of a kind.